Welcome to the Diaspora here on the NTA. This week we're reaching you live from Manhattan in New York, United States of America. As you know, the world converged on this city for the 73rd General Assembly of the United Nations, and President Muhammadu Buhari led Nigeria's delegation to the meetings. And of course, we're going to bring you issues concerning the Nigerians in the diaspora here in the United States. We'll save you the details of the meetings of UNGA 2018. Welcome to the program. My name is Makut Simon Macham. Now, there's nowhere in the world where Nigeria has more professionals than the United States of America. And of course, in keeping with the tradition, President Muhammadu Buhari took time off his busy schedule at the United Nations to meet with some Nigerians living and working in this country. Now, at the meeting, the Consul General of Nigeria to New York, Ben Okoyen, gave an opening remark and welcomed the President to give him a highlight of Nigerians living here.
Policies of Mr. President are opportunities that provides direct link to Nigerians, and including those in diaspora, to participate in national development and advance the state of Nigerian economy, promote citizens' welfare, increase their earnings, build on competencies, encourage local manufacturers, develop indigenous companies, and provide an enabling environment for wealth creation to all Nigerians. I feel delighted to state the obvious that among Nigerians in the United States, we have some of the most celebrated and outstanding in various fields of human endeavors. I wish to report to Mr. President of the desire and the passion of these Nigerians to contribute and maintain an effective working partnership with government to integrate their valuable contributions into the domestic growth mechanism. More importantly, as human capital is a vital resource for development of any country, I wish to call on Nigerians in the United States of America to utilize the opportunities to invest at home and be good ambassadors of change in Nigeria.
Now, having listened to the Consul General, some Nigerians that were in that meeting took turns to speak to the President about some issues they have concerns about, and of course, how they can contribute to development back home.
The NABF is a group of Nigerian professionals with different backgrounds. A bunch of us are pharmacists, medical practitioners, doctors, architects, just from economists, bankers. We come from all the different spectra that you can think of professionally. Now, what we've been able to do in the couple of years that we've existed is we had a big conference last year. It was titled Investing in Nigeria from the Diaspora. And the theme was, the goal was to actually try and direct, because we hear a lot of our folks that have been here for years, and they talk about, the plight of our youth back home. We see your efforts, we see the efforts of government, and our goal is just to see what we can do, not only to aid the efforts of government, but also to see what professionally and with the expertise that we have acquired from being out of the country for so long, how we can use and harness that expertise to assist back home in the development of our nation. So what we decided to do was bring a few folks from Nigeria, in addition with some of the folks that we have here, and see how we can put our resources together and start investing back home. A lot of diasporans will probably back me on this. Many of us have attempted at one point or the other to go back home with some of our resources. And the story has not always been good. However, we know that there are folks amongst us that do go back home and have success stories. Some of them even rose to the position of, maybe working within your administration.
Mr. President has created a fantastic opportunity for agriculture. But we all know that most Nigerian youths, they have some heroes, people like Davido, people like Wizkid. The Nigerian entertainment industry, if well harnessed, has major, major potential. I know because I've been in it for 35 years in the U.S. This is what we have done. Today, Nigerians in diaspora send $22 billion to Nigeria every year. And there are remittance companies that charge 10% of that money. Anybody in any part of the world knows that when you make money from someplace, you have to give back in what is called corporate social responsibility. Those people don't do it. So what we have done is this. We have created a mechanism. I have personally signed with the entire Nigerian film industry, entire Nigerian music industry, fashion industry, you name it. We have created a platform called Blaze Channel. All the content they go on the platform for free. Millions of people all over the world are going to be watching the content for free. So how do we monetize? Remittances. 5% of the remittances, we have created an endowment fund for the arts in Nigeria. We create the products, and I have all the distribution licensing in the US, in the cinemas and everything. We will take those products, put them in mainstream America. We will send back $100 billion to Nigeria. Thank you very much.
My president, you have done wonderful. However, I would like to go back to a little over 3.5 years ago when a proposal was written by APC U.S.A. to have a representative for diaspora. My president, it was you that made it happen. Diasporans, we talk about diasporans for so long. Before the president came to power, it never happened. We never had a rep until you came and you made it happen. And that, to diasporans, is the greatest achievement. I thank you for that and many other things. You have taken the bull by the horn. APC wants me to let you know, APC USA, that we are so grateful. You are our president.
Nigeria is difficult, but we see what the work you're doing. So we in the diaspora, we applaud you, we support you, and that is why we are here today. One of the reasons why we are here today is to beg your indulgence, to get us more involved. Like somebody talked about the remittances earlier, that will show you that Nigerians in the diaspora love Nigeria, and we're very passionate about Nigeria. So you can see that from the remittances that we bring home. And somebody wants to take it up to 60 billion. Why am I saying this? As much as I applaud the work our sister Abike Dabiri is doing, we still have more to do by getting diaspora, Nigerians in the diaspora more involved. I think we're not utilizing the resources that Nigerians in the diaspora have. So we can, for instance, we have someone like Dr. Omalu. We have the doctor in South Carolina that did the first ever type of surgeon that took out the baby from the mother's womb, performed the surgery, put the baby back in the mother's womb, and the baby stayed for full term in Nigerian. So Nigeria should have some type of mechanism. Yeah, you can clap. Nigeria should have some type of mechanism whereby we're taking advantage of all these brains and all these resources that Nigeria has. When I got the invite to come here today, some Nigerians called me, hey, Deputy Mayor, why every time they say something about Nigeria, you will be part of it? I said, because it's my country. And they're like, what is Nigeria doing for you? And I replied, what are you doing for Nigeria? That we all can, yes. So they said a lot of us give to Nigeria, but we don't get any type of recognition. Simple recognition like the national awards, for instance. Some of them say Nigeria can actually give them some type of award. So Ms. Abike Dabiri, you can recommend to His Excellency those Nigerians, like Dr. Omalu, like the gentleman in South Carolina we talked about, like those Nigerians that are representing Nigeria very well, we think they deserve some type of national award.
Your Excellency, my own is a comment and appeal to your very good government. Youth making 70% of the population of Nigeria makes youth very important. As such, what you have done to youth, nobody has done it since independence of Nigeria to date. We have been advocating for not too young to run. This year, somewhere in May 31st, the not too young to run bill has received a presidential blessing. We thank you very much for this opportunity, Your Excellency. Meanwhile, as a leader of the youth coming from Nigeria to participate at the Youth Assembly at the United Nations, we are able to put off together 3,560 young people from Nigeria from 2009 to date to receive a leadership training. And we make sure that upon going back home, such training is stepped down, going to the local community we want it to reach. But however, we have an obstacle for the bill of not too young to run. You've done everything within your powers to make sure this thing has come a reality. But however, Your Excellency, we want to still appeal to you to make a mechanism in which young people, or create a platform upon which young people can participate into the government. For instance, like the form selling for contesting appears to be so expensive. Some of us want to run, but we can't afford it.
We want an avenue whereby we should be able, especially the initiative that you've set up, which was championed by Honorable Abike Dabiri, which is very great, so that this medium can help actually materialize what our intention is as an organization, which is ample. I'm privileged here in New York City to be one of the highest ranking elected person, local government in the Bronx. And the great thing about this city is that you sit around the table for $90 billion, which has been shared. And interestingly, my district in the Bronx used to be the worst health performance out of the 62 district, out of all the 62 counties in the New York State. And we've been able to move it up. Improvement. I want to be able to see that our colleagues all in diaspora is able to do that also in a great country, Nigeria.
We're working, we are hungry to come home and help you. You're doing a lot of work, but you need us to support you. But our visions cannot be developed if we don't get support from your government, or from government before you, or those before you. We really want to come home. And I was in the transition, I was one of the members of the transition team for New Jersey governor. I was one of the advisors. You have a lot of resources in your people. We love Nigeria. Like even if I digress to talk about most of us taking airline, going through all over, but Nigeria, we don't have our own plane, a whole Nigeria, to fly from here to Nigeria. So there are many challenges we have. And the Honorable Minister of Health can attest to that. The Nigerian Association, Medical Association, we created a forum we called 11-9 ratio, 11-1 ratio. Means that we Nigerian doctors want to come to Nigeria for 1 month and inherit any hospital and help.
Sports. You've always been known for bringing good luck to Nigerian football, and we are looking forward for your good luck rubbing us in the next Cup of Nations next year in Cameroon. So we hope your good luck will rub us to win that. And then generally, like, sport in Nigeria has been like regarded as mere recreation at a time that the sector has become money spinner around the world. So my question is, what policy is it ensure that sports can begin to generate revenue for Nigeria in years to come? Like basically creating NGOs that can come into sports, you know, put money into it to sponsor our younger generations, like, because we don't really have that people who want to put money into sports. So I'm encouraging our private sectors who are out there in Nigeria to come out and to sponsor this, our younger generation in sports.
Now, having listened to the Nigerians in diaspora here in the United States carefully, President Muhammadu Buhari gave this response.
I have to start by reminding you of our three fundamental campaign promises. That is the All Progressive Congress. I have excused those who are not in that party. The first thing is security, because it's so basic. The country has to be secured to be managed properly. If the country is not secure, you are wasting your time. Secondly, economy. Somebody said Nigerian population is 75% youth. Well, I said we are above 60, so we are in the right bracket, I think. And thirdly, fighting corruption. Because I said if we don't kill corruption in Nigeria, corruption will kill Nigeria. We have been very consistent. And I want us, when I said us, I mean the government in Nigeria, to be assessed on these three observations and how much we have gone. At a certain stage, the Minister of Information, Lai Muhammadu, was constrained to go public to remind Nigerians where we were when we came in, where we were then, and what we have been able to do in between with the resources available to us. I congratulate you, lucky people, who find yourselves here and you are contributing intellectually and economically to this great country. My advice, if you want to help us back at home, is invest in education in your constituencies. Classrooms, equipment, contribution to pay teachers. Because if you educate people, there is a level of nonsense they will not accept from anybody. But if you leave people exposed to ethnicity and religion and underdevelopment, which means poverty, they are easily made a target and they cause confusion. I have tried to do my best since I came. You can see it by the 3 points I mentioned. Security, certainly in Nigeria is better. Boko Haram, yes, they are still attacking people. What they do now is to indoctrinate young people, especially girls, wrap them up with explosives and get them to blow themselves up in soft targets, in churches, in mosques, in marketplaces, in motor park. My campaign against them for their recruitment Boko Haram is that you can't kill innocent people and say Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar means God is great, and God means justice. You don't go and kill people when you don't try them and prosecute them. So it's not a religion. They are just terrorists. And we will continue to deal with them. So far, we have been quite successful. If you are in doubt, ask anybody from Northeast, from especially Borno State. They said they used to sleep with one eye open. Now they sleep with both eyes closed. I mentioned the problem of what you can contribute to the people, especially there are so many doctors and so on. But again, my recommendation is education, education, education. As one former Prime Minister of Great Britain used to say, contribute to education, please. That's the best thing you can do. A national award, nobody asked for a national award. I don't think since I came I gave anybody a national award. It's not one of my priorities. But if I win the election next year, maybe before I go, I will recognize some Nigerians.
Now, we later took on the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs, Abike and of course the Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, who all gave their views on that meeting.
Well, you know, ultimately, it's really going to be about just the enabling environment. You know, a lot of Nigerians have come back and in government. A lot of them are in the private sector. So, you know, this is happening all the time. Some of them are also helping from here. During the meeting, a lot of them, you know, were talking about the billions of dollars they were going to bring back into the country. So there are different ways of contributing to the development of the country. And the best way and the surest way to get all the best brains in the diaspora to come home is to have a Nigeria where you have security, you have good infrastructure, and you have good governance. And you know, and that's what, of course, Mr. President is working on. You might say that to achieve those, you also need some of the best brains in the diaspora to come and help us get there. And yes, you know, some are coming home, and we hope more will come home.
It's been a robust engagement which will continue, and as you can see that when they hear from the President himself, the achievements, what he has done and all that, it's an interactive session, you know, and it was a very robust and a very rewarding session for both parties. And you see the passion that Nigerians here have for their country, and you could see that the theme was, we want to do this, we want to do that. So on the part of government, we look at the challenges they face. On the part of them, they, you know, are looking at whatever it is they can do for their country. And interestingly enough, in December, we're going to have the first Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, where a lot of them will come back home and look at where they can invest or attract investment. Because you could see they're all talking about, we can invest here. There's a group that is planning to invest $3 billion in the Nigerian economy. So while we're going to look for investors, we have investors in Nigerians, in the diaspora, especially here in the United States. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Your country needs you, you need your country. And as they said, the only blood that runs through their veins is the Nigerian blood. And President Buhari has provided a platform for them to be able to, you know, structurally and positively and effectively engage with their country. We can't talk about development without talking about diaspora. So it's a partnership between Nigerians at home and Nigerians in the diaspora. And the President has made it a priority to spend a lot of time with them, listen to them, answer their questions, and also take suggestions from them. So it's a relationship that we continue to build, and we're hoping that when the Diaspora Commission does come on board, we're going to have a one-stop agency to actually deal with diaspora matters. So it's interesting, it's encouraging, and most importantly is that Nigerians abroad have a passion for their country and the confidence in Mr. President. You heard them say it. The President's acceptability to the world is the African is the champion for corruption, you know, of anti-corruption for Africa. He's the ECOWAS chairman. They look up to him, and that is reflecting positively on the Nigerian, and they carry their shoulders, you know, high up. So we continue to work at that. We're not saying everything is perfect, but we work together to have a perfect union.
We are quite happy that, you know, migration is on the center table for discussion. Fortunately, this is a global trend, so it's not a situation that affects only us in Nigeria or Edo State. And so there's a global response. You know, the global response is multifaceted. It has to, you know, on the one hand, the countries of origin have to do more to stop people from migrating, to try and create more peaceful condition at home, economic prosperity, so that people don't have to migrate. And for the countries, the recipient countries, they have to be a bit more humane. They have to protect human rights of those who are migrating to their countries. and they should treat migrants with empathy and respect.
And that's the size of our package for this week, which came to you from Manhattan in New York City, United States of America. Thank you very much for watching. On behalf of the rest of the team, I am Makut Simon Machon saying keep watching the Diaspora as we bring you more on Nigerians living and working in the United States in our subsequent editions. Bye for now.